Hi everyone, this is Carlo, still in lockdown in London. Just doesn't improve. With this video I want to go back to the topic of traveling. I was sorting out my computer the other day, and I found some footage that I forgot I had. It's from 2 years ago roughly. I was working on board Muse, and during our crossing through Asia to Australia, the ship stopped for a few days in Myanmar. Formerly known as Burma, Myanmar is an ex-British colony, which became independent in 1948. Yangon, also known as Rangoon, is the largest city in the country. I had the chance to explore quite a bit of the area, and these are the 8 travel memories that I chose from my time in Yangon, Bago and Tallinn. Number 1. My tree show ride around the village. This dude took me for a bumpy ride on board this sidecar bicycle called Trisha. I visited a small village in Bago and had the first contact with the locals. Myanmar borders with Bangladesh and India, and with China, Laos and Thailand. The population of Myanmar reflects this fascinating mix of cultures. The government recognizes 135 distinct ethnic groups, and more than 100 ethno-linguistic groups, with the Burmese considered to be the official one. Memory number 2. The morning market in Tallinn. Oh, the market. This market is a true sensorial experience, an explosion of colored fruits and flowers, and a combination of food stalls filling the air with some pleasant and other less pleasant smells. I've learned how you can literally grate a particular kind of wood to get a powder that women in Myanmar mix with water and apply on their faces daily. It's called Tanaka and it functions as a sunscreen, keeping their skin refreshed all day. Number 3. The Shwedagon Pagoda. Also known as the Golden God Temple, it's the tallest pagoda in Myanmar, but not the most famous. You will have to wait for memory number 7 for that. It's really a spectacular place. I remember I spent more than an hour walking around barefoot, relaxed by the continuous sound of tinkling bells. Not many tourists, a lot of monks walking and praying. Buddhism is the most widespread religion in Myanmar, and it's a tradition for every young boy to experience life in a monastery at least twice in life. They can enter monastery as a novice as soon as they turn 7 years old, and later on, they can decide to become a monk for life. For memory number 4, I chose my visit to one of these monasteries, called Bambian in Tallinn. Learning about the daily life of Buddhist monks was eye-opening. Meditation, mindfulness, and a life stripped of all the excess and man-made comfort. I was not allowed to film inside the monastery, but I managed to take some of the most beautiful pictures of this whole Myanmar experience. A young novice has to follow 10 precepts while he studies and lives his life as a kid, including playing football and roller skate. But once he grows up, if he decides to embrace being a monk as a life's choice, things will get more serious, and the precepts to follow will become 227. Fascinated by the monastic life, I decided to visit the Kakatri Monastery in Bago, the largest abbey in southern Myanmar. Here I had the chance to observe the resident monks partake of their final meal of the day, which happens in a big room in total silence. The last meal of the day for a monk is at lunch. In the afternoon, in fact, he is only allowed to drink, while he studies and meditates until he goes to sleep. Number 6. The Shwedagon Reclining Buddha. The Shwedagon Reclining Buddha. I really hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Any Burmese friends? 50 meters long and 15 meters high, this statue is considered to be the largest and the most lifelike of all reclining Buddhas. It was originally built in 994 after Christ, But in the centuries it was progressively neglected and it was lost in a jungle overgrowth. Only in 1881 the remains were discovered and renovation started. The little girls you see in this footage, dressed in pink and orange, are young nuns. Their daily life is not dissimilar from the life of their male colleagues, with study and meditation as the main activities. Roll on the most famous monument in southern Myanmar. And number 7 is my visit to the Shwedagon Pagoda. This colossal stupa was constructed more than 2,600 years ago. The main pagoda is entirely covered in gold plates, and the many small temples that surround it are a feast of gold, reds and turquoises. A wonderful place for prayer and meditation, and a true pilgrimage destination. You have the feeling of being suspended in a moment, a frame of time where the ancient dialogues with the imminent future. Things are changing fast in Myanmar. A lot has already changed since I went 2 years ago. And for the last memory of Myanmar, I chose the Tao Kiant World War II cemetery in the town of Bago. It's one of the most sacredly silent places I've ever been in the world. This cemetery has the graves of 27,000 Allied troops killed in the World War II campaign in Burma. This monument seems somehow detached from the rest of the country. The neat grass and shrubs make it look like a sacred garden, a place for contemplation, to reconnect with silence and solitude. These were my favorite 8 memories from my time in this country. The Myanmar experience is intense, there's so much to take in. The heat is strong, roads are bumpy, insects and bugs get on your face constantly. But the places and the people that you will see will teach you about a whole different level of living life. From the big pagodas and monuments to the simple day-to-day life of the tiniest villages, everything in Myanmar is worth seeing, experiencing and living to the fullest. Just apply some insect repellent spray if you don't want to be eaten alive. Have you been to Myanmar, and how was your experience? Feel free to let me know in the comments, and follow my blog and this YouTube channel for more travel memories, until we can finally travel again and make new ones. Stay safe and see you next week.